everyone, it's Jack and Sam from Cultaholic.com, and we are very excited because this Saturday it's AEW Revolution. Which actually is, I think, being set up to be a really good show. Yeah. We are doing recorded reactions for this one, no live stream, but in the days following the event, you will see our reactions to it live as it happened. Also, there's going to be some lovely punishments for the loser of this predictions contest. Yeah. We have 3 words for you to vote on at patreon.com/cultaholic, and they are revolve, some sort of spinning element of the punishment, I assume. Solve,
guess that rhymes.
Puzzle.
That rhymes.
Rhymes. Little puzzle as well, and revolution chops as well. So
when you say little puzzle, we'll probably be buried alive and set on fire and have to work our way across like a garden maze or something.
It's not going to be a jigsaw.
No.
You have to fight the wrestler jigsaw.
Yeah.
So we'll begin with the tag team match between SCU and the Dark Order. Now this
you didn't
one...
say that properly.
SCU!
There you go.
Now the Dark Order. This one's being set up with a bit of intrigue because obviously everybody's waiting to see who the Exalted One is. And this week on Dynamite, Evil Uno said that Christopher Daniels will realise that he is obsolete.
Oh.
Who's it going to be?
Who's Daniels had major feuds with in the past?
AJ Styles.
That's it.
It's going to be AJ. Yeah. There we go.
Samoa Joe.
Yes. The Bullock. Adam Cole.
Yeah. Why not?
Who are you going for and why?
Well, I think just overall, I want to say before I say my choice, like AEW cards always seem too easy to pick because the storylines on the weekly shows are so great. And it sort of leans in. I think it turns us all into marks where we're all like super like involved with the storylines, and we're sort of like, well, this guy's got to win, and they always end up pulling the rug. So I've sort of tried to bear that in mind, but I think I've failed horribly.
Okay.
But I'm going for the Dark Order here. I think it makes sense because there's a lot of hype around them.
Yep.
They've got to start really building them up as this big credible mystery threat team, and SCU can afford to take a loss.
They were the first tag team champions.
Yeah,
absolutely, I agree. I'm also going for the Dark Order for the same reasons as you, really. I think with this whole threat of the Exalted One looming over everybody, the Dark Order need to get a win, and as Sam said, they can afford to rise a few places on the totem pole while SCU can afford to go down a few places.
You imagine though, like after the match, all the lights go out and it's like, oh no, the Exalted One's here, and it's amazing, everything happens, and then a massive disco ball comes down and it's Disco Inferno.
I thought you were going to say Disco Inferno, and I'm really thankful that
I really hope it's Matt Hardy. Oh my God.
Matt Hardy's the one everyone's talking about. Obviously they've dropped the word obsolete as well. There's been a couple of red herrings with Raven being spotted in the crowd recently.
Is this just a massive red herring as well?
You never know, but I think if it is Matt, it's going to be huge.
Next up we have Pac versus Orange Cassidy in what I believe is Orange Cassidy's first singles match in AEW.
I think so.
You got and why?
Pac. He's harder and better at wrestling.
Well, you've probably learned your lesson, haven't you?
When I went against him,
Going against, the local son.
I feel kind of bad for Pac because I found myself rooting for him in the match this week against Kenny Omega because he was training under the Tyne Bridge. He was running across the quayside, and I thought...
It's a shame. Well, it's good he didn't do it in the summer because they have all the kitty wakes that poo on you.
Yeah, they would have actually, Yes, there's a lot of animal feces in Newcastle. Anyway, so I'm going to go for Pac. I think this is a nice way to sort of lessen the blow of losing that big match that he wanted really badly against Omega with a nice easy win against Orange Cassidy. But I do think there'll be a few crowd popping moments where Orange Cassidy actually wrestles and reminds us all that actually he's really good.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, I don't think Orange Cassidy's going to wrestle. I think they're going to save that.
Oh, okay.
I think there's going to be like a lot of back and forth. I don't think he's going to just walk through the match, Pac. But I think most of the stuff we're going to see from Orange Cassidy will be in fitting with his character.
Okay.
I think you save him actually getting serious and busting out for like a major moment.
Okay.
And I think that, as you said, this is sort of like a nice, easy, soft reset for Pac. It's like a palate cleanser, isn't it? It's going to be a nice match. Everybody's going to enjoy it. I think it could potentially be match of the night.
Is it?
I think it's like low key. Like it's going to have a lot of moments in it that are going to really please the crowd. But yeah, I think it helps to be like a soft reset for Pac.
Yeah.
Moves him on, moves Orange Cassidy on, and yeah, I've gone for Pac.
I think so as well. I think I agree with you. It's going to be a really fun match and potentially a sleeper hit of the night.
Yeah.
But I've got a pick for potential match of the night coming up later on. I know. Let's find out. But we're not going to find out yet because it's not this one, but I do think this match is going to be good as well. It's the AEW Women's Championship match. The champion, Nyla Rose, taking on Kris Statlander. Sam, who have you gone for and why?
I've gone for Nyla Rose.
Nyla Rose.
It makes sense to me. I think Kris Statlander's stock is rising, but Nyla is a fairly fresh champion.
Yes.
I want to see her continue to dominate. And I think Statlander can sort of, because she's just a freshly rising star, she can take this loss and won't really affect her too much.
Yes.
I think it's going to be a really hard-hitting match, though.
Yeah. Potentially with a table involved. Nyla loves to put people through tables recently. I think that I'm going to go for Nyla Rose as well, but I worry a little bit for Kris Statlander because I feel like there was meant to be a big kind of match, a big blow-off between her and a member of the Nightmare Collective before that all got axed. Probably Awesome Kong, or maybe just Brandy herself in like a sort of non-wrestler, or like part-time wrestler versus actual ass-kicker kind of match. But I think now that got nixed, that might be why they've pushed her to this title match. But I don't think she's going to win yet. As you say, it's really early on in Nyla Rose's reign.
I think you can get a really strong show in here, though. You can put her up against Nyla and have her sort of go the distance, not look too dominant, obviously, but have her go the distance and have her take a lot of abuse and have her come out the back end looking, she's in defeat, but she's strong. And I think that's going to help boost her on the weeklies.
I think so as well. Assuming that Nyla Rose does retain, I wonder who they're going to have her wrestle next, because it was Hikaru Shida who won a 4-way match on this week's Dynamite, which I was really surprised about because she pinned Big Swole, who was kind of being set up to be a future opponent for Nyla Rose. It was really weird to see. But anyway, we've both gone for Nyla Rose, but we're both big fans of both women. Kris Statlander's, I really like Kris Statlander. I think she's fantastic.
I've enjoyed what I've seen so far. Next up, we have Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara. Who have you gone for and why?
This was the hard one, because I was trying to look for clues on this week's Dynamite as to who to go for, but it didn't really help out because both men got one over on each other at different points in the night. So obviously, just to quickly recap, Sammy was about to cheat in a tag match. He was about to use the loaded sock that Santana and Ortiz used, but Darby was on the outside to yank it out of his hands, and that led to Sammy losing. But then, like in the main event sort of segment later on, Sammy broke Darby's skateboard over his head. So I couldn't work out what to go for. I'm just going to go for Darby Allin, and this is more of a hard overhead decision because he's been my guy, Sam.
He's been your guy for a long time. For a super long time. You should have seen how excited Jack was when we got to StarCast in Vegas and Darby Allin was there. It was like, we can interview him!
Yeah, well, we did interview Darby Allin. It was fine. I was more scared of Rikishi and all of his family standing around me, these big lads. But anyway, awesome, but no, Darby's a fantastic talent. I'm so glad that it's been recognised. I feel like I jumped on the bandwagon slightly. There'll have been fans of Evolve who were familiar with him from way before I was. But I'm glad that I helped bring his attention to a wider audience slightly before AEW did, so I look dead clever in that. So I'm gonna go for Darby Allin, but it's a really hard one to call, and it's not one I'm too confident about. Sam?
Well, in my head, we're gonna build slowly, but not too quickly, but like not too slowly. We're gonna build
at a medium rate.
We're gonna build towards Inner Circle versus a massive face stable. And I think to do this, you need to, have just horrible, sneaky, cheaty, terrible victories over nice fan favourites.
That would make sense.
I think Sammy will cheat to win, or there'll be some sort of interference. I don't know.
Possibly from Jeff Cobb.
Yeah, and I think it's going to lead to something there. But I think I think we're going to have Sammy win via nefarious means. So yeah.
But this could also be a really good. This card's looking amazing, by the way.
It's just, it's so good.
It's so good. Love it. Not biased. Just love it. Next up, we've got Jake Hager versus Dustin Rhodes, a feud that goes back quite a way now after Jake Hager destroyed Dustin Rhodes' arm and this week slammed him into the Dippin' Dots, not the Dippin' Dots. Sam, who have you gone for and why?
I think I'm going for Jake Hager. This is his first match in AEW. This is, his chance to shine, and he can stick it to Cody's older brother, who's had lovely emotional moments so far in AEW, and, just completely beat him down. Revolution, in my head, is potentially going to be a massive Healy pay-per-view. Yeah,
so, maybe in certain
I think you need the strength of Hager, you need that to get across, so I think he needs to win this first match.
I think that Hager's going to win as well, and this was more a result of me trying to balance out me predicting that Sammy was going to lose. I was like, you can't have both Inner Circle members lose.
Unless, this is what I mean, they seem so easy to predict. But then they'll just pull the rug.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go for Jake Hager, though. Again, maybe more of a hard overhead decision. You can't overlook the biggest star in 5-star wrestling history.
Yeah, of course.
Huh?
Final 5-star champion, right?
Yes, he was. Yeah. And the final Lucha Underground champion as well. So many accolades.
So far.
So many strings to his bow. So far. I think it's going to be Jake Hager. And then maybe, as you mentioned just there, as you maybe alluded to, maybe his next feud will be with Cody once Cody and MJF are done with each other, but you never know.
Next up, we have Kenny Omega and Hangman Page, the current tag team champions, up against the Young Bucks. Who have you gone for, Jack? And why?
First of all, this is the one that I think is going to steal the show. This could be match of the night.
Yeah,
it could be fantastic.
Christ, it's a Bucks match, and they're working with Kenny. And
But also, I mean, Hangman is suddenly just one of the most popular people in AEW.
Yeah.
I'm so pleased for him because right back at the start, when he was the first contender against Jericho for the the first inaugural belt, to become the first champion. I think that everyone got on his back a little bit, and when he's not ready, I'm glad they gave it to Jericho, blah, 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 and I felt bad for him.
He's sort of organically got over, just
it's
moments
brilliant.
like has been drinking, all of that stuff, like, just everything about him, like, he just seems to just resonate that he's a nice guy. You just want him to have nice things.
Well, that's the thing. I love this storyline because of the shades of grey, because I think that he's being portrayed as the heel, the one who's acting out, the one who's being a bit different from his mates and is mistreating them. But actually, I think a lot of people, including myself, have looked at it and gone, no, they're being dicks to him.
Yeah, the Bucks were dicks to him. Like, you were a jobber in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
He's turned to drink. They're not helping him about that.
Yeah.
They're mocking him for it. And also, that whole interview...
They're going to push him off the Titan troll.
Imagine, they just go full heel. Woo! The whole interview with JR was so brilliantly done because they were saying little things before the jobber comment that were like... They were just acting as though they'd already won the belts. They were like, and after the match, after we've won, we'll shake hands, blah, blah. And you could see him getting more and more annoyed and eventually stormed off. Yeah. I want Omega and Hangman to win, but I'm going to go for the Bucks. I just feel like I've picked the Bucks in the past and they've betrayed you. And I've also picked against the Bucks in the past and they've betrayed you because they seem to be your bogey team when it comes to predictions. But regardless of all that, I want Hangman to win so badly. I think the Bucks will win. And if they do, I don't want Hangman to be the one who turns heel, who looks bad. I want that to be maybe even the Bucks, maybe even Kenny. You never know.
Yeah.
What about you?
I would like very much to split up Kenny Omega and Adam Page and get them back into singles. It's very, cool to see them working together as a team, and it's fairly new, so I'm probably not going to get that wish. But the other thing I would very much like is a proper heel Young Bucks, not like a cocky, smarky heel Bullet Club Young Bucks, like a proper arrogant,
like
horrible,
early Bullet Club Young Bucks.
Early Bullet Club. Like, I want that so much, and I think that giving them this win, especially after they've been going on the way they've been going on, and it'll allow them to push that further. But then it's a worry, like, there are too many heel factions, and there's so much stuff. But I think it's about time that, they set up the company. It's a matter of time until they get the belts. You may as well do it now.
Yeah.
And maybe sow some seeds of dissent between Kenny and Page.
Yeah.
As long as we don't end up with the Elite back together, because I don't think I'd like that with Kenny and the Bucks, like as a unit.
Oh, as a trio, yeah. No, fair enough. So we've both gone for the Bucks for different reasons. Yeah. It's fun here at Cultaholic.com. And next up, another really hyped match on this card, I think it's fair to say. Cody versus that awful man, MJF. Sam, who have you got and why?
I think you can extend this feud a little longer, and I think you can make... It's already a pretty nuclear, white-hot heat reaction for MJF, but I think it can get hotter.
Okay.
It's not quite up to full temperature as a furnace just yet. So I think you can have Wardlow come in and maybe attack Arn, maybe beat a legend like Arn Anderson down, hit him with a spine buster. That might be quite nice. Arn will get a spine
buster at some point?
Arn will go for one, and Wardlow will, you'll get low blowed, and then Wardlow will hit him with one. Could you imagine the heat for hitting Arn with his own move?
That would be great.
Yeah. Especially if it's a badly done spine buster as well. That'll be the best.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you've gone for, especially if it's a bad one.
Yeah, because it would be like, you're hitting the guy with his own move, but you've made it worse.
So you're going for MJF?
Yes.
I am going to go for MJF as well, because last week on Dynamite there was that wonderful cage match between Cody and Wardlow, and I looked at it and Cody's standing on top of the cage, his face covered in blood, but he's triumphant. MJF's cowering on the ramp, and I thought, he's not going to win at the pay-per-view. And I really want him to. Cody's the best babyface in wrestling at the minute, I think. He's amazing. but I think that maybe they have more to gain by giving MJF this win. We all know how over Cody is and how amazing he is and how great these storylines have been, but I think that him winning and defeating MJF would have a similar sort of feel to when he just beat Shawn Spears.
Yeah.
And everyone went, oh. And it was a good match, but everyone kind of went, oh, right. And now Shawn Spears has suffered a slump because of that.
Well, this is the thing, Cody's sort of trapped storyline-wise, isn't he? There's not really a lot he can do, and I think to extend storylines like this, you're going to just increase fan sympathy for him. You're going to make people really want to see him with that belt eventually by some means. He's going to finally find a way back to be able to challenge for it.
I thought a few months ago, I was thinking that Cody was teasing the match beyond, which is potentially, everyone seemed to think was going to be a War Games variation. But I thought I got it in my head that like there'd be, as you mentioned earlier, the Inner Circle versus Cody and some babyface allies of his, and if their team win, he gets a shot at the belt or one more shot or something. But now I'm not too sure, and I don't know how long it'll be before we see Cody reverse that stipulation, if he ever even will. I don't know.
I think he will, but I think it's going to be like maybe 2 years down the road. But I think you got to really take him to rock bottom first. Yeah. Because Cody as an underdog is just the best.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Well, MJF winning could be the first step in that. So there we go.
And finally, we have the main event of the evening, which pits AEW World Heavyweight Champion Chris Jericho against Jonathan Moxley.
That's right.
Yeah.
We love him.
Yeah.
Right. So earlier on, but don't worry, this was after I'd made my predictions.
Right.
It hasn't informed my decision. But earlier on, our bloody editor man himself, Richard Tubman, he said, it's best to strike when the iron's hot with Jon Moxley.
Yeah.
And he's so over at the minute. He's wearing the eye patch. He looks like Big Boss from Metal Gear Solid 3. Is it Big Boss or The Boss? No, The Boss is...
He looks like The Boss, yeah.
No, Big Boss.
Big Boss,
The Boss is the woman.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid, I need to brush up on my law.
I'm not entirely sure if that was correct. We might have just melted the internet.
No, he's Big Boss. He's Big Boss, Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's looking like Big Boss from Metal Gear Solid. He's looking like Solid's dad, right? And
not really dad.
Oh my god.
Clone.
No. No, it's his dad.
No, he was like scraped from his genes, right?
So
and
I thought...
Sort of dad, yeah.
Solid just fits in some... Anyway.
Yeah.
Moxley's looking like...
Nanomachines.
Yeah, and he's so over at the minute, and I just think that it would be a shame for him not to win right now. Not to say that Jericho hasn't been a good champion, he's been absolutely fantastic. I kind of feel a bit foolish for back when we were like, oh, it would be nice to see Hangman with the... Jericho has been a wonderful first champion with that belt, despite losing it immediately on the side of the road. I think that I'm going to go for Moxley, and I think that it's time for the big babyface title change. I think it's going to happen. The only way I can see it not happening is if Jericho wins by dubious means and then Moxley gets a rematch in Vegas where he debuted. Yeah. But I think now is the best time to do it. Just have him win. Do it, Sam.
I think very much the same. I think he's lightning in a bottle right now. You may as well put the belt on him. You're not going to harm Jericho. I've said you're not going to harm about 1,000 times in this video. But you can't harm Jericho. The guy is a legend, a living legend. He's been around forever. So I don't think it really hurts him too much. Plus, as a cocky, snidey, awful heel who wants his belt back, you're going to get at least a couple of decent rematches out of that. And then he can move on to whatever else he's going to do. Right. Yeah, I agree. Just quickly before we finish, which one? I've already said which match I think is going to be the best on the show. Which one do you think is going to be best on the show? Now that you've said it, I think it might be the tag. The tag one. Yeah. I'm really I'm excited for the show as a whole. I think honestly we could be looking at one of the shows of the year if it all goes to plan. You never know how it's going to go. But yeah, we're both very excited. We will be doing reactions. It's not a live stream. It's going to be the cut down reactions. Classic recorded reactions. But yeah, we're very excited. We hope you are too. And don't forget, if you go to patreon.com/cultaholic, you can vote for one of our 3 words that'll lead to a punishment for the loser of this very video. Thanks for watching and catch you in a bit. Thanks very much for watching, and let us know what you think in the comments section down below. You can follow Cultaholic on Twitter @Cultaholic and on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. If you enjoy what we do, then please do check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Cultaholic, where you can pledge. And don't forget, of course, most importantly of all, to hit subscribe and to join us.